This beggar proposed to her. She had no idea he was a billionaire. A young, rich black man dressed as a beggar by day to find a woman who loved the heart, not the money. Each night he returned to his luxury mansion in silence. But one day, a kind girl gave him food, and just minutes later her fiancé showed up with another woman. What happened next will leave you speechless. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories every week. In the heart of the busy city, people rushed past a young man sitting quietly on the sidewalk. His clothes were dusty and torn. His jeans had holes, and his gray t-shirt looked like it hadn't been washed in days. Most people didn't even look at him. A few gave him disgusted stares. Others crossed the road to avoid him, but none of them knew the truth. This beggar was Denzel Carter, a young black tech billionaire with more money than he could ever spend. At just 29, he owned luxury cars, 5-star homes, and even his own private jet. He had everything, except one thing: true love. Denzel had been heartbroken too many times. Every girl he dated was attracted to his wealth, his lifestyle, or his fame. They all smiled at the billionaire, but none ever asked about his soul. So one day, he made a decision that shocked his closest friends. He would disguise himself as a beggar during the day and return to his mansion only at night. He wanted to see how people treated him when they thought he had nothing. Every morning, he left his estate in old clothes. No phone, no wallet, just enough for a bus ride. He'd sit on random sidewalks, observing people. Some ignored him, some mocked him. One man even threw trash at his feet. But Denzel didn't react. He kept searching for kindness. Then, one sunny afternoon, everything changed. A girl with soft eyes and a red scarf walked up to him. She looked like a college student, modest clothes. No makeup, no fancy phone. She paused, looked into his eyes, and said, "You look hungry. Here, I made extra today." She handed him a warm lunchbox with a shy smile, and for the first time in years, Denzel felt seen. Denzel was still sitting on the sidewalk with the lunchbox in his lap. He couldn't stop thinking about the girl who had just fed him. She didn't ask for anything. She didn't take a photo for social media. She simply smiled and walked away. But just as he began eating, he heard her voice again. She was standing nearby, talking on the phone, double quotes. "Yes, Grandma," she said gently. "Don't worry. The engagement is done. We'll get married soon." He promised. Denzel froze. Engaged. His heart, which had felt so light just a moment ago, dropped like a stone. He didn't even know her name, but something about her had touched him. And now, it seemed she was already promised to someone else. He lowered his head and continued eating in silence. But 10 minutes later, the scene completely changed. A black luxury car pulled up to the curb with loud music blasting. A man in a flashy suit stepped out, wearing sunglasses, gold chains, and holding hands with another woman. It was her fiancée. The girl looked shocked. "Daniel," she called out. He turned, surprised to see her there. What are you doing here?" she asked, her voice trembling. But instead of explaining, Daniel looked at the other girl and laughed. "She's just someone I was talking to, nothing serious." The kind girl's eyes filled with tears. "We're engaged. You promised we'd get married. I even told my grandmother." But Daniel didn't care. "Look at you. You're too simple. You don't even wear makeup. You feed beggars on the streets. I need someone who matches my level." The other girl smirked. Denzel watched it all unfold from the sidewalk, stunned. He clenched his fists. But instead of stepping in with anger, he stood up slowly and walked toward the crying girl. "Miss, I don't mean to interrupt, but would you allow me to say something?" She turned, wiping her tears. "What is it?" Denzel smiled kindly. "I saw everything, and I just want you to know, not all men are like him. Some still believe in real love." The next morning, just after sunrise, Denzel waited near the same cafe, still wearing his worn-out clothes. The girl arrived quietly, her face still sad but calm. She didn't know why she had said yes to a stranger's proposal the day before, but somehow her heart felt safe around him. "Are you sure you want to walk this road with me?" she asked softly. Denzel gave a small smile. "Only if you're willing to walk it with me." She hesitated, then nodded. "Okay, but where are we going?" "To my home," he replied. They walked side by side, through alleys and out of the city, along a path lined with trees. Finally, they reached a tall black gate guarded by 2 men in suits. The girl stopped. "Whose house is this?" he asked. Confused. Denzel didn't answer right away. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a sleek gold keycard. As the gate opened slowly, her jaw dropped. Before them stood a massive white mansion, glass walls, water fountains, a sports car collection, and even a garden that looked like it belonged in a movie. She turned to him, stunned. You said you were poor. Denzel chuckled gently. No, I said I was dressed like a beggar. There's a difference. Her eyes filled with disbelief. Why would you hide all this? He looked into her eyes with all honesty. Because I wanted a woman who saw my soul before my wallet. You gave food to a man you thought had nothing, and that showed me everything about your heart. Tears welled in her eyes as she whispered, You were testing people. He nodded. And you passed, with flying colors. Denzel knelt down, pulled out a small velvet box, and opened it to reveal a shining ring. So, one last time, will you marry me? She didn't even let him finish. She dropped to her knees, hugged him tight, and whispered through tears, Yes, 1,000 times yes. As the mansion doors opened behind them, a new life began, built not on riches, but on real love.